Welcome to Conscious Living Collective, transformative journey in consciousness with community of like-minded people, which is you from all over the world. My name is Tomek. I'm a scientist. I am a coach of transformation. I'm a catalyst and also a teacher here on Inside Timer. In this live session, we blend the latest in scientific research, the deep wisdom of mindfulness, and the art of fulfilled living in consciousness. This is, as always, an invitation for you to have a direct experience and to emerge on the other side with a renewed sense of purpose and well-being. Welcome to Wednesday/Tuesday session of Conscious Living Collective. Very good to be here and very good to see you here. Let's see who's with us today. Hello, Parvane. Hello, Linda. Hello, Haley. I can see quite a few familiar faces, and that's absolutely lovely because topic is very thrilling. Today, I will invite you to raise your vibrations in the spirit of the past two sessions of Conscious Living Collective, during which we have been discussing consciousness, using metaphor of vibrational spectrum, consciousness as a vibrational spectrum. And the reason why we use this metaphor is because for me as a scientist, this comes as close as it gets to bringing the world of science as we know it and spirit or consciousness or intelligence beyond the matter as we know it. So to give, for those of you who have been here, this is going to be a summary of what we've been talking about. For those of you who are joining for the first time, first of all, raise your hand. I would like to hear who you are. It would be good to see and say hello to you. And for those of you who've been here before, this is going to be just recapitulation of what we were talking about and explanation of the metaphor that we will be using in the practical part of this session, where we meditate together and we actually have an access to this high vibrational state. Obviously, before you get there, you want to have a better understanding, intellectual understanding, what we are talking about. So when you experience it firsthand, it kind of comes together and becomes a very powerful, transformative power. And also, I want to thank Deb for her donation right here at the start of the session. That's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Deb, for your generosity. I hope I deserve it. And what I want to say, I kind of lost track of my thoughts, and I'm bringing myself back to the vibrational level where I can actually explain it. So some of you may have heard that one of the most popular theories to explain everything, so-called theory of everything, recently was a string theory. String theory to tell us that on the fundamental level, we have those strings that vibrate by the way, in multiple dimensions. This theory does not apply or cannot be explained if we only consider our three-dimensional space plus the dimension of time. You have to use, I think, 12 dimensions. Please do correct me if I'm misinterpreting some of it. But to my best knowledge, the string theory works best in the 12 dimensions. What are the remaining, 8 dimensions beyond 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time? That's a good question to you. But according to this theory, we have tiny strings that vibrate, again, beyond the dimension of time and space that we understand it, and they create reality as a result. And the reason why we use the metaphor of strings, because of the nature of vibrations. Vibrations means frequency, and hence that's where I think we onto something, understanding why that metaphor of consciousness as a vibrational spectrum is so apt. And of the past 3 sessions, that's what we were trying to tap into and understand why this is so important. After all, we are consciousness. We are not in consciousness, but we are consciousness. Everything that we observe, that we experience, is an expression of various levels of consciousness. And our job in the meditation space, our job in conscious living collective is to understand better and embrace more the reality as it is. And that can happen through, first of all, understanding what that reality is. And second of all, most importantly, have the first-hand experience. That's why in the introduction to Conscious Living Collective, I always say this is an invitation to have your own individual first-hand experience. So that's what we will do today. And as a matter of fact, I will want to start with meditation today. We will jump into raising or expanding our understanding of consciousness and expanding our view on the different parts of the spectrum of consciousness, and we'll see how this transform your understanding, and then we emerge on the other side and we will discuss it. How does it sound? Any questions with regards to any part of either this session or the previous sessions? That means to those of you who are attending those sessions before we start our meditation. Take your time. In the meantime, I will reset the music. By the way, we are helped by Pablo Arellano and his Space of Love. And when I say there is a connection between spectrum of consciousness and love, love is an expression of consciousness. And we all, without exception, want to experience that. So what is there? Okay. Madeline, it's here for the first time. How wonderful. Meditation, well, it's, we'll see. It's going to be 15 plus minutes. Maybe something between 15 and 20 minutes, I would say. Madeline, we will usually go for between 45 minutes and an hour, sometimes a few minutes longer, but feel free to tune in and tune out at any given point. This is the beauty of the internet. I'm not checking the attendance list. Is absolutely voluntary. Your presence is always appreciated, but is not compulsory by no means. Cool. Okay. In this case, let us jump into meditation, which will include a couple of elements that we practice already in Conscious Living Collective. And let's see where we can venture, how far we can go, how expanded we can get. Once again, we will be accompanied by Pablo Arellano's Space of Love. Please visit his profile inside Timer. He's got many, many musical pieces that will support you on your journey. The same as Pablo's music, my guidance is intended to support you to have your own experience. It's not a substitute for this experience. Here he comes. I'll switch to the meditation screen. Okay. I'm just checking some technical things. So make yourself comfortable. Let's begin this meditation by recognizing that all of the experience happens in consciousness. It is part of a vast spectrum that includes all experiences are valid. All experiences are part of your human experience and human nature. Out of this statement comes acceptance of this present moment as is. You are unique, and so is your experience right now. Different levels of your personality may reject this experience, and by doing so, creating tension and resistance. And this resistance is also part of the spectrum. And as you settle in, as you allow your physical body to take a position that offers the least resistance, in other words, is comfortable and makes you feel at ease, see how your awareness shifts. Where does it go is determined by your uniqueness. It is determined by your circumstances. But at the same time, it is a choice. You have chosen to close your eyes. You have chosen to put your body at ease. And you have chosen to open yourself up to the possibilities that lie outside of your customary understanding, your habitual self that most of the time follows the path of survival, which is a biological programming that you were born with, a result of millions of years of evolution. Now, however, I want you to go beyond and experience the expansiveness of your view, imagining yourself flying way above the clouds of your personality, of your daily circumstances, and look at them only as a part of the picture. where your vibrations are what they are, sometimes high, sometimes low, but altogether bound by certain rules we call our life circumstances. However, when you close your eyes, when you choose to relax your body, you open yourself up to the other part of the consciousness spectrum that lies beyond the world of the physical matter. You are more than your physical body. You are more than this physical matter reality. Go to the high vibration, high altitude from which you can see clearer your life circumstances. And by doing so, you disengage from the usual compulsive understanding of the reality, the usual worries, as if you drop a heavy lift, drop a heavy weight of your thoughts, worries, preconceived ideas and beliefs, and just for a moment, expand above and beyond, feeling excitement of leaving these things behind. And moving into abundant sky that is all-inclusive, always free, and now see for yourself how it feels. What does it mean to you to embrace this part of the conscious spectrum of your reality that lies beyond physical senses and the limitations of your physical body? And right now, I will let you to explore on your own for a few minutes as I stand by your side, holding the space. And now it is time to conclude our conscious exploration of the spectrum of reality that lies beyond physical senses and physical body. Express your gratitude for everything that you have experienced, both on the conscious level, and also acknowledge the things that happens under the surface of your consciousness, but still put things into motion to change your frequency, to harmonize your energies in the way that supports your well-being. You may feel these changes unfold in the hours and days to come. Right now, begin traveling back through your physical senses into physical reality. Acknowledging your vision through darker and brighter spots in front of your closed eyes. Connect with the music and the sound of my voice, engaging your hearing. Briefly touch upon the senses of smell and taste. And embrace your touch through the boundaries of your physical body that connects you to the space around you. Feel your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap, your sit bones, your lower and upper back. Add very gentle movements of your toes. Include your fingers. Feel free to roll your shoulders, also gently and slowly. Tilt your head to the left, feeling muscles in your neck. Tilt your head to the right, feeling muscles on the other side of your neck. Back to the center. And expand your lungs by taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And when ready, in your own time, open your eyes and welcome back. Thank you so much for meditating with me. Thank you for choosing to tune in to the other part of the conscious spectrum that we usually do not consider. The moment you open your eyes, the moment I invited you to connect with your senses, you shifted your awareness from the non-physical, meditative, we call them altered states, into the customary human experience of physical senses. Vision, hearing, smell, touch, taste, and touch, and also thinking. In Buddhist tradition, thinking is considered as a sixth sense because we spend so much time exploring it, including me. So I want to ask you right now. Last time I asked similar question during the session, but I intentionally started with meditation to ask you, what energetic state have you experienced looking back in that meditation journey? What was it for you? I will start with myself as I'll let you type your answers in the comment section. To say, I start off with by saying that the thinking, particularly at first, was still present. And as I relaxed into the guidance, that again, I have a feeling comes together with the intellect, but from the outside of the intellectual understanding. The more it comes from outside of the intellectual understanding, the better it flows, so to speak. That's how I came to understand it. The resistance of it, the effortlessness of it, it becomes obvious. And I like to have actually both in my disposal, both the intellect and the openness and expansiveness of this altered state. So that's how it felt to me. Haley, I felt a little uncomfortable and mind struggled to allow it to happen. Great observation. And that observation represents the resistance of the conditioned mind, we call this ego, to experience anything that contains other parts of the spectrum of the consciousness. This is why most of us at some point, and certainly me after, I would say, almost 20 years of meditation, I still experience that discomfort that represents, and now I see it clearly, it's a resistance of the expansive state that is outside of how I spend most of my time connecting with the consciousness. Once again, most of my time during the day I spend utilizing my senses, right? The vibrational spectrum, the vibration, the frequency of the transmission I receive is through my physical senses. And this spectrum is very familiar. This spectrum is very known to us. And your mind is designed to protect it, to put a copyright on that bandwidth. And every time you attempt to go outside, your mind will say, nope, hold on, what are you doing? This is uncomfortable. And as a result, you feel resistance. And it takes quite some time after you make choice. I want to expand. I want to go beyond. Fine. Between that decision and taking the action, that decision you confirming by the perseverance in letting go more and more of that resistance, or accepting the resistance and letting go more and more. I know this is going to happen. I know you resist. And then you expand. That's how you raise your vibration. Raising vibration, mainly not to my personal experience of it, is not always a pleasant process. Very often requires overcoming the customary habitual resistance that is related to what we are used to. Okay? For Anita, liberating in a sense of buoyancy and boundless potential in the precious moments when I could allow myself to truly leave my physical presence. Thank you, Anita, for sharing that. And key words that resonate frequency with me are I could allow myself to truly leave my physical presence. The act of choice and following through that choice, regardless of whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. No, you made the choice and you following through and you overcome any obstacles that's getting in the way if the choice that you made are really aligned with what you want. How many choices in your life do you make kind of I think the English language for this would be I kind of want it. No, you don't want it. You kind of want it, which means that you actually want to state, partially you want to stay in where you are, but you are curious about what it's over the fence. Does it sound familiar? Oh, I would like to be there, go there, experience that. Well, but only under condition if it's going to be easy and effortless. And the moment I have to, quote unquote, work for it, overcome the resistance, yeah, maybe I don't want it that much. So that aspect of making the choice, allowing yourself to overcome the resistance, to really follow through, so to speak, is such an important part of this process. Just because you want something doesn't make it so, right? We were talking about the creative expression of the self that very often requires you to challenge the status quo, which you know and you understand the usual, it's outside of operational manual that is written by the society very often, by your upbringing and so on and so forth. So thank you, Anita, for sharing that. And the result of that is when you allow, you truly leave your physical presence and experiences of buoyancy and boundlessness potential. Parvana, I felt inner stillness and my mind became quiet. And this is a fantastic explanation of switching your awareness from the customary spectrum of mind bandwidth, bodily sensations, to place outside of it. And my follow-up question, okay, how did it feel? Is it something you would like to experience again? Or is it, no, that's not for me? Ask yourself, Parvana. And the answer includes another answer to the question whether it's aligned with who you are or not. Okay? Because last week we were on Monday we were talking about raising your vibrations includes being aligned with your values, with who you are, doing it with integrity, right? We are not there to do what others tell us. You are not here to do what I tell you. It is a guidance. I show you the way, but you have to choose to walk it. And that's why walking that path, for some, even though you hear the same guidance, it may be rocky because you are just the beginning of the road. And some others may receive it as oh, well, it was smooth because I just joined the path that I've been walking for quite some time now. All right, going to the gym. The first few sessions, you'll be sore. It is worth it. It is working, and you'll be feeling very soon very well. But nevertheless, you will also experience the muscle soreness, which is part of it. You see how different all the paths, all the bandwidths, and every single part of the spectrum of the consciousness includes the same rule set. There is an effort, there's an intention, and there's an effort related to fulfilling this intention. Haley, what a great knowledge of the process. I have been stuck in the issue of resistance and raising vibration for some time. Thank you for sharing. It's my pleasure. And we all, by the way, on the topic of being stuck, so many of us feel stuck these days. And let me translate to you what does it mean to feel stuck from there using the metaphor of frequency. You have in your disposal, you have a radio receiver, and you tune in into different, you want to tune in different stations, but because you've been listening to the same station again, and the station usually, oh, I need to pay the bills, I need to take care of the family, I have to take care of my relationships, I'm unhappy, I'm this and that. That's the station you've been listening to. You try to, I want to switch it, and then the knob is stuck because that's the only frequency that your radio know. And now you have to turn the knob, which takes the effort, and explore the other stations, and they will sound unfamiliar. At first, the music will be, well, that's definitely different than the music I've been listening to. This is definitely, the content is very different to the content I've been listening to until now. But there's something about it. Feel it. That's why you're here. You know there's something important here for you to discover. But being stuck represents listening to the same frequency, being in the same frequency. And as long as you will be in the same frequency, that's the feeling of that's the feeling that you experience, feeling of being stuck somewhere, right? Overcoming the resistance is overcoming the sensations of being stuck. So great job, Haley. You on the right path. Intuitively, at some level, you feel this is not place you want to be. As in, you outgrown this place. There's nothing wrong with where you are. Everybody has been there. Everybody will be there at some point. It's a natural state to stop and feel stuck, because what you recognize right now is the inner potential and inner ability to move forward, to expand, to experience more, to include more, and so on and so forth. Linda, I was like black space at first. I saw only stars and recognized the large space liminal between each star. Eventually, they disappeared. It felt lonely, as in all alone. Then I heard voices. The realization of the presence of others provided some comfort to the aloneness. And the voices were gone, and the dark continued without fear, and just was without discomfort. This is Linda. Thank you for sharing that. This is pure altered state. And you see the progression from recognizing yourself as being lonely, but not being alone. Because the sooner you accept that you are part of the consciousness, you are unique and individual as a part of the consciousness, but you are never alone. So the loneliness in this case represents your uniqueness. But the moment you accept it, you see that others, that's the moving to quote unquote higher frequency, where others are, and you tune in and you start seeing other stars. There's a space between the stars, the darkness between the stars and the stars, and neither the darkness nor the stars are worse or better. They all part of the spectrum. And you just learning to explore and accept all of them. Manu is new. Hello, Manu. Semastar just joined. Linda says, definitely want more of it. Yes, I think we all want more of it. That's the whole point. That's the reason why we come to Insight Timer, to listen to me, because I invite you to expand, to join in conscious exploration, whatever that means to you. You joining at some point of that yellow brick road. Maybe I know now I recognize that I think yellow brick road represents the customary. So maybe that's not a good metaphor. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But you joining at some point of where you're being stuck in your fears or if your preconceived ideas and your belief systems, and you want to outgrow them. You have the potential, you recognize the place where you are, there's not enoughness of it, of not the place where you are is too constrained, provides too many boundaries. You want to go outside of it, not by destroying what it is. Once again, you cannot destroy a frequency. You can only include it, like in the music. There's no right or wrong frequency. The frequency only can create a music in the relationship to other note. And your job in that sense is to combine note that you are in with other notes to create a music that it's pleasing to your ear, translating into common language, is aligned with your values and with who you are. Does it make sense? Haley asks if I have more pre-recorded meditation covering this work. Quite frankly, every single meditation that I have recorded covers this to some extent and approaches this very topic of expanding beyond our physical, our limitations being the boundaries that we created of fear, of unworthiness, not being loved, being alone, and so on and so forth. Only discovering as an illusion. The moment you step outside of it, you recognize that. So it's not something I can teach you, but it is something that you can explore on your own. And in the guided meditations, that's what you are invited to. And you see, some of you will be able at this time of your life and this time of will be able to recognize that. And some of you will say, oh, I can't see it yet. But either of you will share the same potential and will and desire to go above. You might go at different pace. You might join at different parts of the path, right? You will come from different part of the vibrational spectrum, but all of you share the same desire. Right? All of us here, 172 meditators here, according to the data my screen shows. 172 of you have a common denominator, which is a desire to go beyond. You might not know what that frequency is. You're using the radio metaphor. You have no idea on what part of the spectrum you are. You have no idea to what spectrum you want to tune in, but you know you want to expand. You want to tune, and you will be searching for it. You'll be making mistakes. You will turn that knob. It's like, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to be there. So you stay there for a moment, and then you turn it there somewhere else. It's like, ooh, that's kind of better. That frequency, I like that frequency. But it's still not exactly, and then you're moving that knob of your consciousness from here to there, and all of a sudden you discover, well, actually none of this is either good or bad. It just suits me. All of it suits me at different times of my existence, and all of it is valid, as I tried to show over the past 3 sessions. All of it is important. And it is, I have a choice now. My consciousness is malleable enough to tune into whatever I desire. And when what you desire comes not from the level of mind, I want more stuff. I want different number of my bank on my bank account. I want be prettier. I want to be thinner. That's the ego talking. That's the purely materialistic approach that represents current state of the world, by the way, if you want to think. Perhaps the way you look right now could be considered beautiful in one era and could be considered terrible in the other era. Imagine yourself showing up with your beautiful clothes right now into 16th century. Most likely you would be considered a weirdo, But you say, what do you mean I'm wearing beautiful clothes? This is beautiful. No, what do you mean? You're a weirdo. You most likely a witch. Maybe I can burn you on a stake. You look weird. But now you want this. So this is transient. What is not transient, as I tried to show you, is your will to be creative. I want feel excited. I will feel excitement waking up. I want to be creative, engage myself, and be in that part of the spectrum of consciousness that everything feels right. Okay? We share that, all of that. The person that was in the 15th century and the person that's going to be in the 23rd century in the future, they will share that, because this is part of the conscious experience, innate characteristic of consciousness. Willingness to expand, to explore, to learn, to grow, to evolve, whichever word you choose to use. April, to grow and to evolve. Yeah, these are the words that are a common denominator to every consciousness, every individual consciousness unit. Mark, thank you for the session. Thank you as well. After 6 years of daily practice, I've been feeling stuck as well. The concept of allowing ourselves to go beyond is very helpful. Thank you, Mark. So 6 years. For me, it's been 20 years. And I still feel stuck. From the perspective of my mind, particularly, I remember when I started meditating, I thought, oh, well, I meditate for 8 hours every day. In 10 years, I'll have everything I desire. Now I know that it's not about having everything that you desire, but making desirable everything that you have. This is the switch. It's not only this or that part of the consciousness spectrum that I want to be in. All the spectrum is important, and being able to experience all of it with not judgmentally and accepting. You see, I'm using the terms that every teacher will tell you in terms of meditation, right? Not mindfulness. It's a not judgmental presence of the moment, right? Accept what there is, not judgmentally. Yeah, we say that, and then you want to do it, and you feel stuck because your mind resists. Because in fact, what your mind wants and what your consciousness is on the fundamental level, they clash, because we created a world of the discrepancy between the desire of the body and desire of the consciousness. That's why science is stuck as well. As a scientist, I can say that to you with confidence. Science and spirituality clash together, or less now than in the past, because they recognize different parts. They didn't want to come together. In the same way, we feel stuck because our value system is very often upside down. What we consider the most important is the matter, what we can touch and feel and have, and we completely ignore things like mental health. On the mental stuff, these are not important. Well, it's mental, it's not real, it's not material, it's not important. And then we suffer and we know, hold on, I already collected everything I can have on the material level and I'm still unhappy. So what's wrong? And then we join meditation because we realize, oh, well, maybe I took a wrong turn at some point. Does it sound familiar? Does it sound familiar, not to you, but maybe to you at some point of your life? When you start having those realizations, look at the world. Why Insight Timer? Why so many meditations up? Why there are coaches popping up here and there trying to finally open themselves up to something that is outside of what been following for so many, centuries and decades? Is the recognition that whatever we've been doing until now works only partially. can take us only as far on the conscious spectrum, because it only includes part of the spectrum. It's not open enough. Now time has come to include more. Include not only physical, that the recognition that most of the reality is actually mental. Physical part of reality, it's the epidermis. It's a small part. The much more vast, much more expanded part is non-physical. It's mental. And we are gradually opening up to it. Gradually. It's scary. You see the resistance, feeling stuck. On the level of your heart, so to speak, metaphor, you feel, yes, I know that and I want that. On the level of the body, again, material, physical, oh my goodness, that's scary. I don't want to go there. It's too scary. It means it's too foreign. Mark, absolutely. That was the biggest takeaway for me at the recent 4-day meditation retreat, staying open to allow acceptance and letting go. Yeah, we need those meditation retreats. Meditation retreats is a continuous, it's where you remove yourself for extended period of time from the conditioned reality of, wherever you live, wherever you are, whatever you're surrounded by, and you remove yourself and you embrace different reality. And usually takes quite a few days to start recognizing that, maybe I was wrong. Not I was wrong. Maybe there was other parts to what I understand. That's a better way. You are never wrong. Right? If you experience something, it's valid. If it was not valid, you would not experience it. That's the thing. Could you comment on the feeling of laziness, i.e. the lack of motivation to move out of the funk to make effort to change the frequency? Well, I could speak about it for hours because I consider myself very lazy. I created my life around the concept to have as much free time as possible. Okay? When I work with my clients, some of you may know I have one-on-one sessions and I have no more than 2 clients a day because I need a lot of time between the times when I recharge. I have a lot of space and a lot of time. And for a long time, I considered it a laziness. But now I come to accept this is much more natural state of being than actually have your day fully packed with task and ticks on task to be done, and then you can tick out the task. This is something you have to discover for yourself. But I understand if you were following the path of ticking the boxes and continuously repeating mantra, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. That's what you created with your mind. And now you have to make even greater effort to get out of it. So that's what laziness is. Lack of motivation to move out of the funk. Mostly because whatever you're moving towards is not really something that you truly desire. It's something that maybe some other people want, but is not aligned with your true values and who you truly are. I promise, if you find something that you truly like, it always takes some effort because it's new. I already explained that. But if it's something that you truly like, you'll be able to overcome. The laziness won't even appear on the spectrum, because you say, it's obstacle. I have to get up. I have to go places. I have to do this thing. Well, I do it because I love it. That's the expression of my creativity. And laziness all of a sudden disappear. So in my life, for instance, I never feel lazy. It doesn't occur to me I feel lazy doing a live session. I might feel lazy for maybe 2 seconds, and the second I start talking to you, as I'm speaking to right now, I would love to talk to you more and more. We're coming to an hour, and I know, I try to consider your time. I try to wrap it up within an hour. Someone asked me at the beginning, you know, how long it's gonna last. Like 45 minutes to an hour. We on an hour, and I say I'm just beginning. The lazy does not even occur to me because I love connecting with you. I love communicating with you, and I know you understand. You connected with me right now. So this is amazing. This is exciting. Laziness, opposite to laziness is excitement. If you're excited about something, you will never be lazy. That's my response, at least. And don't listen to me. Just apply for yourself. Find out for yourself what works for you. Hila Rosa. I started meditating when I was 15 on my own in the woods, stopped at 24 and started back 42. Last 6 years, thankfully. This openness will actually save me most literally. I'm now going through a medical condition, and I'm anchored in meditation and feeling great. And I support you on that journey. I have quite a few clients who are going currently through a medical treatment, without giving you details, but I think I know what I'm talking about. And the support that the mindfulness and understanding the condition from the perspective of the conscious experience, as opposed to from the perspective of the medical system, is fundamental to the healing and to the transformation. It's fundamental. A lot of conditions, I'm not going to call it illness, conditions that you experience, that we call illnesses, are the result of resistance between the life you live and your potential. Because that resistance creates stress, and that stress, we know from the scientific point of view, it creates inflammation, microinflammation, and that microinflammation, the more time you spend into that state of resistance, that inflammation spreads, and the inflammation manifests as what we consider illness, certain conditions. Anyway, Mark, thank you so much for your donation. Yeah, Parvana affirms in that. Hilarasa, good job. I'm with you on this one. You took the right path. Yeah, karma, lazy is a condition rooted in burnout and healing crisis. Yes, I love it. I love that that explanation. Okay, it's official now. I'm out of water, which is a clear sign to me. It's time to wrap up our session for today. But as always, this is to be continued. So please sign up for the next session of Conscious Living Collective, and we will be collectively raising our vibrations, i.e., expanding life and supporting our well-being, because that's what it is. Whatever condition you are in, I'm not only talking about the medical condition. We all in a certain medical condition. Some we considered health, some we considered illness. But these are all just conditions on the part of which are part of the spectrum. And if we choose to, we can move away from them. And then maybe I said something important because fireworks just appeared. Karen Parvane, thank you so much for your very kind and generous donation. Thank you so much. So we will continue, because exploration of different part of the consciousness spectrum of experience is what we do here, as we call it Conscious Living Collective. I want to thank all of you who joined for the first time. I hope you find this useful for where you are in your life. Feel free to listen, go to my profile and check me there, listen to my meditations. I publish frequently new meditations, so feel free to follow me there and click the notification bell so you receive notification when the new meditations appear, and they are all in the vein of expanding your consciousness, exploring different part of the consciousness spectrum. Again, I evolve as well, and so my meditations. So my old meditations are very different to my newer meditations. And not that my old meditations are worse, they are representing a different state of consciousness as compared to where I am now. And you can see it for yourself. That's the only way to find out. Don't take for granted what I say. I also have a course, 6 Pillars of Conscious Living, which I think needs to be updated somehow about since I created it to where I am now. So maybe I want to create a new course. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Mark. So yeah, thank you all for this wonderful session. I will leave you with, as we started, with Pablo Arellano and his space of love, which is space of consciousness, translating. Have a wonderful day, pleasant night. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for supporting me, for all your donations, for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next time.